So here I am doing florals and I'm moving around these turns. Thunder or Melody had asked how we do turns and started to. This is my satin stitch foot that I use. It's plastic. Most of them come in plastic like that, and it's been used a lot, so it's got some different powder. But do you see this single line right here? That's my guide, and you can see where it's placed now. My needle is on the outside of the applique line, and so I'm getting ready to start turning these turns. What I'm gonna do is probably go like about 5, which is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Stop. And you can see where this line is placed right on that applique edge. You want that line to be like right on the inside. Here, let me just move it because I'm one hand. Okay, you can see where it's sitting, and by the time I'm done, by the time I moved forward, I'm gonna stop when this line gets to like right there on the outside of the applique, and then I'm gonna reposition it. I'm gonna turn, I'll lift my foot like this, and I'll turn my fabric back this way so that when I start stitching on that turn, this needle is going to go back into the stitch like that. If you put it on this side and you turn and the needle comes back this way, you're going to have a V gap right there where the needle didn't line up with the rest of the stitching. So you can see where I'm at now. I'll try to go slow here. Make sure your foot is down and locked into place. So I'll do this the best I can. So there's, come back down. See how it goes back into the stitching right there, and it doesn't go, so there's no gap. You can see where those stitches are here, and it's not landing here and leaving a gap. It's going to come back and line up there. So this is 1. And you can see this black line moving to the outside of the applique. So I'm going to come back one more time, say I'm stitching one more time. I could probably even go one more. Okay, so see this black line? My guideline, where's my thing? My guideline right there, that black line on the plate. It's on the outside. So I'm going to lift my plate, my foot, and I'm going to bring this back and set it back down, and you can see where that line is back with inside the applique. You can see my needle is on the outside, so I'm going to start again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6, and you can see how that needle moved off of the applique again. Take it and bring it back to the inside, and you can see where that needle goes back into the stitch itself, so there's no gap, and you can see that needle moving off the black. See, I'm gonna stop, and you're gonna turn and bring your guide back into the inside. And you'll see the needle go back into the thread. See, it's kind of like way off, which is fine. I mean, it'll leave you a slight point when you turn back in, but it's all good. You always want to stop and with your needle on the outside of the edge of the applique before you pivot it. Otherwise, it's going to hit a gap. So now, because I'm coming to the straight area, I'm just kind of moving it and guiding it straight down because there are no turns before I start the next. So there I am, and if I take this out and I show and I turn you, see how we did this nice circle looking thing there? That's what we just completed by turning and pivoting and making sure where your needle was at. So I hope this little baby tutorial helps you all. As you can see, this floral has all of these turns plus the ones on the inside. Same thing when you're doing like strawberries or hearts. And then when you get to these little ones, I'll show you. These ones are about maybe a 1/2 inch or 1 inch wide little berries, and I'll show you when I get to there too.